get mad if you don't, if my hours are infrequent here because it's summertime. You should be outside too, as I stated uh, 2 days ago on summer solstice. You guys should be going outside. I would have started the stream earlier, but it was still showing that my previous stream was still going. So it was some sort of some sort of like string key glitch going on. So I had to figure that out by letting it just restarting everything and letting it like reprocess or whatever. I don't know. Anywho, let me turn on some better lighting. Close these windows. Yeah, that lighting looks way, way, way better. But I'm gonna watch TV for a little bit, and if people want to talk, they can talk with me. But I won't be on here for long, since I had planned on doing this an hour earlier or so. Let's see what I want to watch here. Du, 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 du. Go, go, Power Rangers. Rangers, Rangers. Aye, 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 Rangers, Rangers. No one's coming to save you now. Go, Green Ranger, go. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Then on top of that, the last stream I had, I couldn't even see my chat room, which was crazy. Hope that's not doing the same thing again. But what's up, everyone? Happy summer. School's out for summer. If you're Gen Z, you don't even know what the hell I'm singing. Wicked Sister. I think that's Wicked Sister. Someone put me on game. That's Wicked Sister, right? But yeah. Um, yeah, let me put on something to watch. Something to watch. No, but I am actually here to talk, guys. So let me open this link. And so I can open, so I can see my live stream from a different angle. Um, okay, there we go. Oh, that's the wrong stream. I'm supposed to be opening up the new stream. All right, let's try this again. Anyway, let me put on something that we can watch.
When mom got sick, I worried if we could afford the high drug prices. Then
That's not showing it.
$10 for a drug with a $1,000 price tag. PBMs, lowering drug costs, protecting patients.
But hold up. So yeah, if you guys are leaving any sort of comments, I can't see it. There's something whack right now going on with this.
Stubble so. Shave. It's not it. Bumble and save. Bundle with an N. crumble and save. Who gave him crackers? Cuddle and wait.
You've probably read the headlines. Zuckerberg is finally giving up on the weird metaverse dream. And everyone else saw it coming.
Hmm.
This thing cost Meta $70 billion. And now they're laying off thousands of employees. How did anyone
Oh,
think
well,
this was
can't
going
see
to
the
work?
comments, so.
And after the collapse of the metaverse, has Zuckerberg even learned his lesson?
Oh, this is public. Make sure.
Before we can answer any of that, we need to see just how bad it really got. Meta is cutting about 10% of the Reality Lab staff. We're talking about roughly 1,500 people who were told they were building the successor to the internet. This
No
also
one was
included
down
the
for
cartoon
Meta other than
studios, which were
Zuckerberg.
being disbanded.
That shit was sucked.
The Reality Labs reset, as they're calling it,
No one
is
wanted it. No
basically
one
a
liked it.
polite way of labeling giant layoffs. It's not just about
He thought he could just
employees,
force that
it's
onto people.
products themselves.
So,
Horizon's workrooms is being discontinued.
so much
on
for
February
a
16,
multi-billion-dollar
2016.
hubris
This
project.
is their work and enterprise branch of VR. And if you had any data in there, too bad. It's getting deleted. You might be as confused as I am about this being used for work or virtual meetings. I
Just
suppose.
letting folks know coming into the
Regardless,
chat
it
room,
was gone.
if you are
The biggest was Horizon World.
leaving comments,
This was
I
Meta's
literally
big bet,
cannot see
a
them.
new social place for the internet and what
So
they
I'm
wanted it to be
trying to
even
fix
longer.
that, and
They are now pulling back from that
no
too,
success
and
so
it's
far.
not hard to see why.
So,
By 2025, it was likely over $70 billion for this.
definitely have
And
some sort of
this is
glitch
what's new.
on my end.
Investors are furious at Zuck, but they can't do anything about it. So how did we get here? And there's something even stranger. Right after the layoffs, a Meta dev advocate posts on X. I can tell you personally that we are not getting out of VR. Zuckerberg still has big plans for VR and Reality Labs. So what are they? And has he learned his lesson?
No, of course not. Of course he hasn't.
If you've been following this news on Meta,
Okay,
AI,
there we go.
and tech in general, you probably have heard of Claude. They make Opus 4.6. Currently,
Okay, so a few folks said hi. What's up?
World.
Uh,
And now they've made it even
to everyone
more
who said hi.
Claude Code.
I'm opening it up on my
Claude Code
desktop so
isn't
I can
just a
see.
coding tool, meaning it
For
can
some
build
reason,
entire
I
products
went for
from start
YouTube
to finish.
Studios and it wouldn't even
It
open
works
up the live
directly in
stream.
your code editor.
It
Works
wasn't
in
showing
entire
that it
code
was
base,
even
and it can handle
going.
complex programming tasks while keeping you in control. But I wanted to see what Claude Code could do for me. I have a business and engineering background, so I often naturally see everything as a problem to be solved. And what I see all the time is, well, time. How long I spend on tasks, which ones are taking way too much time, and how I can be more productive.
Let's see what this
But existing products are so bloated and often have an expensive subscription. I just
Oh, no,
want to
this
see
so low.
what's costing me way more time than it should be. I'm definitely a bit rusty on Python, but Cloud Code is
Alright.
perfect for this. Here I use it in Visual Studio, which is where I feel at home, and it was super easy to integrate. But Cloud Code also works directly in your terminal. Before I even start, Cloud Code shows its new feature, Plan Mode. I explained what I wanted, and Cloud Code breaks down the project, gives me follow-up questions, and creates a plan for approval before writing any code. Cloud Code also shows me what it's doing and asks for approval before making changes, which is exactly what I want. And if something goes wrong, there's a rewind feature that automatically saves checkpoints before each change. I feel like Cloud Code is designed for programmers to help them, not just blindly coding, and I think that's fantastic.
And is this a fucking head?
Not just chasing profit.
Get back to the video.
He wanted, Zuckerberg released his founder's letter where he described the metaverse. He described the metaverse as an embodied internet, not something you look at on a screen, but something you step inside. A place where you're in the experience, not just looking at it.
Of course, some
He claimed
autistic
it
person would
affects
say some shit
every
like that.
product we build.
The feeling of presence. This is the defining quality of the metaverse. You're going to really feel like you're there with other people. You'll see their facial expressions, you'll see their body language, maybe figure out if they're actually holding a winning hand. All the subtle ways that we communicate that today's technology can't quite deliver.
But it wasn't just a new product line. He wanted to own the very platform that would replace smartphones. VR was just the engine. Zuckerberg wanted to be the first to claim the new internet, and he was about to go all in. He renamed one of the most recognizable companies in history. Facebook became Meta. It was a crazy move, but I remember thinking at the time that it might be a smart one, given all of Facebook's privacy scandals. But the rebrand was explicitly tied to this thesis that the mobile internet era was ending and presence-based social connection was the new king.
You'll probably have
Except it
a
wasn't.
photorealistic avatar for work, a stylized one for hanging out, and maybe even a fantasy one for gaming.
The flagship of this new reality was Horizon Worlds. Think of it as Meta's version of a virtual world. You'd put on a Quest headset, create an avatar, and hang out. You could attend events, play games, and build your own worlds. Meta was betting people would spend hours there, socializing, working, living a second life, like people do on Facebook, but more immersive. But as soon as the doors opened, the problems were everywhere. It was a buggy mess. After launch, Horizon went into a quality lockdown mode to fix what they called quality gaps and performance issues before letting more people in. But the software problems were just the beginning. The hardware was holding everything back. IDC's tracker forecasted AR and VR headset shipments would actually decline by 8.3% in 2023, dropping to 8.1 million units. And this was despite multiple new device launches, the exact moment when you'd expect numbers to go up, not down. The market wasn't compounding the way a next platform story needs to. Meta owned 77% of the market, which sounds great until you realize they were the king of a tiny, shrinking island. So it really doesn't matter if there's no market to begin with, but it gets worse. There were still millions of sales, but it wasn't translating to metaverse users. Meta aimed for 500,000 monthly active users by the end of the year, but by 2022, it was just 300,000. Then Horizon Worlds had about 200,000 later that year. People were trying it, but most people would log in once, look around the empty plazas and the weirdly corporate art style, and never come back.
Where is everybody?
It was a disaster. Even stranger was how obvious it was to everyone else, even Facebook investors, that something was wrong. Investors were furious. They watched the stock crater.
It was obvious to
But
everyone who
some
wasn't
kept
autistic
doubling
like
down on
Zuckerberg.
spending. And the most annoying part, they couldn't do anything about it. Zuckerberg holds about 58 to 61% of Meta's total voting power, despite only owning about 13 to 14% of the actual equity. This is because Meta has two stocks, Class A, which has 1 vote per share, and Class B with 10 votes per share. Zuckerberg owns 99.8% of the Class B stock. He's the CEO, the board chair, and the majority voter. It's his sandbox, and if he wants to spend 70 billion digging a hole, the investors just have to watch.
Or they can stop
Now,
investing in it.
sometimes it is okay for a business visionary to ignore naysayers while building something, but this was different. Zuckerberg seemed to be ignoring every warning sign. Users were dropping, and the revenue was even worse. Meta itself warned investors in its SEC filings that Reality Labs had produced only limited revenue, reduced operating margins, and would keep harming profitability for the foreseeable future. They were completely transparent about it. The company was openly telling shareholders that this division was burning cash with no end in sight.
Well, unless he's fighting on the streets of Gotham at night, uh, he burning through a lot of their cash sounds like a bad idea to invest in his company.
The U.S. Bank can help harness it. Our experts work with you to develop custom banking solutions
What's
to
up?
help you run and grow your business your way.
Sorry, I can't see my chat room, so I gotta look at it on my. I have to look at it on my desktop.
Get away from having to just get there. This is what travel can be. Retrain travel. Amtrak.
What's it?
Monday Hair Care's
Is that
multi-award-winning
Ibrahim?
shampoo and conditioner is your dream wash day duo. Cleanse and hydrate with our ultra-nourishing
Ibrahim
formulas to
Janaza?
smooth, moisturize, or volume.
What's going on?
Your best hair doesn't have to wait. With Monday Hair Care, have good hair every day.
Sorry, I did.
And
I'm
paid
looking all
2024,
into the
and
because I'm looking at the
numbers were
desktop.
even worse. In Meta's annual report, they stated that Reality Labs reduced the company's overall operating profit by 16.12 billion in 2023 alone, and they expected those losses to increase meaningfully in 2024. By 2024, Reality Labs was losing 17.7 billion, while only bringing in about 2.14 billion in revenue. The metaverse was like a black hole inside of Meta, and at the center of it was Zuckerberg. Then came the announcements. Massive layoffs, VR spaces shut down. And thankfully, it's not just people at the bottom. It also included senior leaders like COO Dan Reed. Reportedly, Horizon Worlds now has fewer than 900 active users. Ironically, as soon as Meta started cutting the metaverse budget, the stock price actually started going up. What's even stranger about all of this is that Zuckerberg's grand vision was already achieved, and by smaller companies. For example, Fortnite has moved out of the battle royale genre and into something entirely new, with all kinds of game modes, purely social spaces, and even live events, with artists like Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, The Weeknd, and Eminem. Netflix even said in a shareholder letter, we compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. Roblox, Fortnite, even VR chat on Steam, all of them saw far more social adoption than Meta and more loyalty. It was extremely humbling for Zuckerberg. So, what does Meta do now? What can Meta actually do with this $70 billion hole that they've created? Well, Reality Labs isn't shut down. Meta is still trying to do something with it. Something big. But what? If you're interested in how the Metaverse saga ends, subscribe, and we can follow what happens together. Reality Labs isn't actually dead. There are layoffs, sure, but it's just being repurposed. Meta is still trying to do something big, but they realized that the virtual world pitch isn't it, so they're pivoting. They're shutting down the enterprise tools, the stuff that was supposed to replace your office, and they're moving everything towards something else. The layoffs in Reality Labs are being framed as a shift toward AI, specifically AI glasses or AI wearables.
No one's buying that shit.
Is Meta Ray-Ban display. These are glasses with the classic style that you'd expect from Ray-Ban, but they're the first AI glasses with a high-resolution display.
These aren't VR headsets. They're regular looking Ray-Ban frames with built-in cameras, speakers, and AI integration. You can take photos, record video, ask questions, get navigation, all hands-free. Think of them as a smartphone you wear on your face, but way less intrusive than a
Doesn't make
bulky headset. And
Yeah, than the VR. Yeah, it's better than the VR goggles, but people still aren't gonna wear that. You're gonna be distracted walking around all the time. Who's like,
and it's fixed.
you're gonna be tripping on shit. People gonna be robbing you because you're not paying the fucking attention.
Full color, plenty sharp, 42 pixels per degree to be exact.
You forget we still live in
Zuckerberg
America.
stuff that Meta sold over 1 million
You're gonna
pairs
get
in 2024.
robbed. You sitting there playing on your goddamn Ray-Ban sunglasses.
The company that makes Ray-Bans.
Meanwhile, people like, okay, he ain't paying attention. Rob this nigga.
In sales in the first half of 2025. People already wear glasses. They're light, they look normal, and they don't make you look like you're escaping reality in public. It's a massively better form factor than a VR headset. And to be
Yeah,
fair,
way better than VR
Zuckerberg
headset.
publicly described the roadmap as heading toward AR glasses long term, not just VR headsets, even back in 2022. So glasses were always part of the plan. Some projections have Meta's Ray-Ban sunglasses generating 10 billion in revenue by 2023, but there are some problems.
Yeah.
In January 2026, Meta and the manufacturer were sued over smart glasses technology for patent infringement. The plaintiffs are seeking massive damages and potentially an injunction that could stop production entirely. But there's still another question here. Is Zuckerberg just making the same mistake? Is he strong-arming Meta into another $70 billion loss with fake demand?
Probably.
Well, it depends on how much credit you want to give him. On one hand, he seems to be listening to the friction, finally. Moving from a bulky headset to a pair of Ray-Bans is a massive improvement in user experience. It's grounded in how people actually live their lives. But on the other hand, it's still the same old Zuck. In January 2026, in Meta's Q4 2025 earnings call, Zuckerberg compared AI glasses to the flip phone to smartphone evolution. It's hard to imagine a world in several years where most glasses that people wear aren't AI glasses. So, same old Zuck. He's still making a massive, high-stakes gamble, albeit a much more realistic one. The metaverse was built on the idea that has guided Zuckerberg for years. Build it, and day will come.
Shit.
There's still a huge
This is
amount
not the
work
field of
just in
dreams.
building the consumer experience that
More
people
like the
love,
field of
and
nightmares.
that will be the foundation. If we do that well, the business will be
Plus,
fine.
he forgets how
But that's
hated
not exactly
AI
what
is
happened
amongst
with the
regular
metaverse.
people.
It will go down as one of the most expensive and strangest blunders in corporate history. Zuck
That's
is
what he
now
doesn't
betting
get.
farm on AI
People
glasses.
hate
He wants
AI,
to own
even
the next
young
platform
people.
so badly that he's often willing to ignore everyone else to get there. Will it work this time? Only time will tell. Someone else who bet big and is not able to hang on to their users is, surprisingly, OpenAI. Sora's user count just plummeted by 99%. Check out this video to learn more. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Right. I did not realize that's a 45-minute video. Not watching that.
Big Pharma's innovation rhetoric is just an illusion. Big Pharma invests more in marketing and profits than R&D. And there's no connection between Big Pharma's drug prices and R&D. Nice
Sitting here thinking
try,
about what I
Big
want to eat.
Pharma, but you can't trick the truth.
You've probably seen this ad, though maybe not by choice.
Right.
Grubhub was the biggest delivery app, 70% market share. They had total dominance.
Yeah, I
But
deleted
now, that's less than 10%. It had a $2 billion IPO. Then it was acquired for $7.3 billion.
Damn.
But then sold off for less than 1/10 of that.
Damn.
No one is using Grubhub. What the heck happened?
For real? 7.3 billion acquisition?
Delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats launched around 2013 and 2014, but Grubhub was actually a decade earlier, and it really was the first to solve the delivery problem. Imagine a world about 20 years ago with no DoorDash, no Grubhub, no food delivery apps at all. If you wanted to take out, you had to dig through a stack of paper menus, call a restaurant, make your order, and sometimes read out your card details. Two developers, Matt Maloney and Mike Evans, were sick of this. We were frustrated by the lack of dinner options, as well as the pain in the ass of calling restaurants and reading our credit cards. At the time, we were working on geographic lookup searches for rental real estate. That's when I heard the screeching wheels in my head. Why wasn't there something like this for food delivery? So they started Grubhub, an online menu, but they needed restaurants. The two went door to door across Chicago, collecting paper menus and building a database. But there was a problem. Around this time in 2004, websites weren't that great, and many restaurants already tried having one, some spending thousands, and it usually didn't pay off.
Websites weren't that
That
bad in
next
2004.
price
You're acting like it's
point, $104 for 6 months
1996.
placement, wasn't that appealing. So they tried something else. We said, what if we take a 10% commission on whatever we sell for you? Restaurants love that. The change worked, But there were two problems. First, no one wanted to invest. It was a weird business model with a weirder revenue model. The other problem was awareness. Luckily, Matt and Mike knew how to reach their market because they knew Chicago. People leave work right before dinner and are hungry and susceptible to Grubhub's marketing. So they advertised at the bustling Chicago transit hubs. Plus, there were other perks. We noticed that the person managing the outdoor ads was really bad at taking them down. So we knew that if we bought a month of space, we'd get five. Grubhub quickly took off in Chicago. Orders began flooding in. They expanded to San Francisco with their own bootstrapped funding. Within 2 years, they won the University of Chicago Booth New Venture Challenge. In 2007, they raised their Series A, $1.1 million. By 2010, Grubhub was operating in 14 cities on just $3 million in outside capital. And then came the real investment, $31 million. That was nothing compared to what was coming. Though first, yet another problem. Grubhub was exploding, but they weren't alone. Other delivery websites were appearing, and one in particular was Seamless. They were doing
Don't
the
remember
same
that
thing,
one.
but with a firm grip on one of the most lucrative markets, New York. A dense urban population, thousands of restaurants, the delivery app dream. The companies were similar. We were solving the same problems, but in different geographies. Seamless consistently made very smart decisions, both with product and marketing. If Grubhub could just get maybe 10% of New York's delivery market, the commission revenue would be huge. Though it would be a tough battle, so Grubhub did something else. In 2013, Grubhub and Seamless merged. Grubhub was doing a really good job nationwide, but Seamless had incredible brand awareness in New York. It's like a religion there. By keeping both brands, we didn't have to spend money to promote Seamless in markets outside of New York or to promote Grubhub inside New York. Best of both worlds, right? Grubhub was on a roll, and that momentum carried them to an IPO in 2014, a $2 billion valuation which raised $200 million.
Damn.
Everything was going great for now. In the background, two different competitors prepared for war. Grubhub might have paved the way for food delivery, but these new apps were going to be different. Let's say you've got a contact form on your site. Someone fills it in. You want it to ping you on Slack, save their details somewhere, send them a confirmation. Normally, that means spinning up a server, faffing about with endpoints, sorting out hosting. A bit much for a contact form, isn't it? I use Make for this kind of thing, and this video's 13, both DoorDash and Uber went live. And unlike Grubhub, they offered something extra. Delivery. Their own network of delivery drivers. Grubhub originally was just an online menu, or more a marketplace for restaurants. It was up to those restaurants to handle
Damn it.
delivery.
All
If
right.
they didn't,
I might
too
need some new
bad.
glasses.
And this model left a huge gap in the market. Unlike Grubhub, DoorDash delivered from almost any restaurant.
Oh, what's up,
even
Marcus?
those
What's going
that
on?
never offered delivery before.
I'm just
It
watching
handled
this
the
before
logistics,
I end up
organization, scheduling, payment,
before I eat
and
something and go to
everything
bed.
else. The drivers just came to the restaurant, so any mom and pop business could suddenly deliver. DoorDash built its own network of drivers,
So
known as Dashers.
dying of
In
thirst
fact,
too.
the founders delivered the first 200 orders themselves just to figure out the logistics. DoorDash and Uber immediately had way more options for customers, but
What?
it also came at a cost, which Matt and Mike were very aware of. To make it work, it was a sort of lose-lose scenario. A small cut of commission for restaurants, low pay for drivers, and they somehow had to figure out how to make all of this profitable. Matt Maloney didn't like this. Even though they said they were profitable, Matt called them liars. People are going to look around and say, oh crap, I can only do this for 12 months even if I just raised $100 million, because every incremental transaction is negative. Matt hated this business model. You have to recruit people, you have to train them, you have to get them on a schedule. And by the way, you have to do it without telling them what to do because of the legal implications. The logistics business is crummy. It has bad margins. The only thing that matters here is volume of orders. To be fair, he's not wrong. These companies were losing lots of money, and their margins were awful. They were soaking up billions. In 2016, Uber lost 2.8 billion, then 4.5 billion in 2017, and the losses continued for years.
As I'm about to turn to
Grubhub,
myself,
on the
going
other
to
hand,
try to
was
sleep
very
early.
profitable.
Good.
But now
That's
they
good.
had to change something or
Yeah, I'm gonna
they'd be left
eat something
behind.
so that helps me get to sleep.
Investors saw the writing on the wall. If they didn't adapt, they'd be dead.
Wish I had some
So
steak
in
though or
early
something.
2015, Grubhub acquired two delivery companies, dining in and restaurants on the run. Grubhub
Or a
had to
lot of
adjust
Chinese
its
food. That'll put
financial
me to sleep
approach
too.
from making great profit to just
Of
staying
course,
afloat
I'm watching
to
something
keep
about
up with
Grubhub, so
DoorDash and Uber
food
Eats.
related.
I'm running my delivery-based business with the explicit goal to break even. That's not fun for me. And normally, I'd say that's the dumbest business you could ever be in. Why run a break-even business? That's a pain in the butt. Grubhub's marketplace margins were as high as 35%, but not anymore. Plus, to stay profitable, Grubhub did two things: charge the customer or charge the restaurant. Grubhub is doing both, grabbing
I
an
know.
additional 10% from each order
You're
and
better
tacking
off
on
just
a
ordering
customer
directly
delivery
from
fee
the.
of around
You're better off
2%.
just
Thus,
order
they
directly
managed to
from the
cover the
restaurant.
costs in an ideal
Order
scenario.
directly from the restaurant. It's
And
better.
while Maloney thinks
Don't
DoorDash
use the
and
apps.
Postmates,
Don't use the
which
food
have to
apps.
make those numbers work at a fraction of Grubhub scale, have no hope of ever reaching profitability. But unfortunately, even if this might have been responsible and smart, it would cost them. These companies weren't even really focused on profitability, at least anytime soon. They were focused on scale and growth. After 2016, Grubhub began losing market share, while DoorDash and Uber Eats grew rapidly.
Yep.
Uber Eats in dense urban cities, and DoorDash in suburbs and, in particular, California. But not all hope was lost. Grubhub was still massive and had attracted a different type of customer.
I was using DoorDash and Grubhub, but I didn't like DoorDash because DoorDash was hiring some ratchet people,
We are gardeners.
stole my food. Like, shit was crazy.
With Calci, you can
Grubhub,
make
I've
those
never
garden
had
beds
issues.
right from the palm of your hand.
Sounds great. But only goalies can use their hands.
At least not with the drivers.
No. Other way. You're twisting the wrong way. What do you want me to do? Just look down. All right. Just look at me. Look what I'm doing. All right. See.
Grubhub was shrinking, but we're still growing. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers. So, and just 10% by 2021. Smaller than Uber Eats, way behind DoorDash. The tables were turned, which brings us back to
Yeah,
Uber.
Grubhub used to be
In
the
May
bigger one of
2020,
them,
Uber
of the three.
approached Grubhub with an offer.
The time last year when VC was investing in this in private markets, and they really loved this whole theme. They like it much less now. They don't like it in part of Uber either. So I'm not really sure about what sort of scenarios. I haven't given it a whole heck of a lot of thought. Where you put some combinations together, and the two pieces together are worth more than what they are right now.
But something unexpected happened. Another company jumped in. Not a DoorDash, but a company called Just Eat Takeaway, a European giant. Why all these
I haven't
sudden
even heard of
interest
that
in
one.
Grubhub? Simple. This was early 2020. The
So you know if
pandemic
your bag
had
of food
hit.
is about
Home
to
delivery
smell
was at
like
an
weed
all-time
when
high.
they send you a
Grubhub
picture of your
revenue
driver.
jumped from 1.3 billion in 2019
I wasn't even worried about
to
that. I was just
1.1
worrying,
in 2020,
was I going to
then
get
to
all the food
2.3
that I
billion
ordered?
in 2021. Grubhub users also grew from 22 million
And
to 31 million.
here's the
Just
worst
Eat
thing
was
is
looking to break into the US
never
market
order
during
Happy
the pandemic.
Meals
In June 2020, it struck a 7.
through the food apps because a lot of times they do not put the toy in the Happy Meal. And I'm like, that's the main reason for the fucking Happy Meal was the toy. I didn't buy it for the fucking food because there's not enough food. It's like a hamburger or some four McNuggies, you know, with the little milk or the apple juice with the fries and like the little uh, apples or whatever. So usually I order extra food, but it's like I didn't order the Happy Meal for the food. I ordered it for the toy that comes with it, and it's always like 50-50 whether I'll actually get the toy with the Happy Meal. So I have to actually go pick it up, or I won't know. There's so many times that I've done it. Like, and I'll be like, and I'll tell them they'll just give me like a little discount or whatever. Or another time they said, "Well, you got everything you ordered." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I didn't get the fucking toy. That was the whole point of the Happy Meal. There ain't a Happy Meal without the happy motherfucking toy." What the shit? They ate Ty's food a couple of years ago. Yeah, I told you about when they ate my food. DoorDash. Like, I've never had problems with Grubhub. This is DoorDash. DoorDash hires anyone off the fucking streets. I was on when I was still had my office on Eastern Avenue, and I decided, after a year of all the hoopla about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, I was like, all right, I'll try it. I didn't want to buy it when it first came out because niggas was, black folks, niggas was all like all these little fat diabetic heart disease non 1 mile running ass hypertension ass yellow jaundice eyed fried chicken eating monkeys was worshiping at the temple of Popeyes when the fucking sandwich came out. So I was like, I refuse to get one. So a year later, after all the shit died down, I was like, all right, let me try one. This is like what, 2020? Yeah. And so I finally ordered one. I ordered that. And I also ordered like the little chicken tenders came with it, the fries, whatever, and a drink. I think that was all. It might have been something else as well. And because yeah, I think it was like a chicken the meal, the chicken, whatever. So I get it. The sandwich ain't in there. I'm like, what the fuck? So I call them and they discount it for the sandwich. And then I'm picking through my tenders and fries. I'm like, no, he ate off the driver ate off the shit too. This isn't all. I was like, these fries, either they didn't fill it up enough, or he ate some of them, and maybe one of the chicken thing. I'm like, oh hell no. So I just went directly to my bank and said I'm right, like, to just charge off this transaction. And even and the lady at USAA was even like, she was sympathetic. She was like, honestly, after the sandwich wasn't in there, she said I wouldn't have even eaten the other food. I would have been scared that he ate off the other food. I'm like, yeah, so it was stuff missing and the stuff that I did get. She's like, yeah, I wouldn't have even trusted eating that stuff. So, man, shit. I, and it was the second time I ordered from DoorDash. Something happened, so I don't trust DoorDash because they be hiring YNs to deliver their food. So never had an issue with Grubhub. I think, like they're saying on this video, Grubhub and DoorDash have two different clienteles.
At an all-time high. Grubhub's revenue jumped from 1.3 billion in 2019.
Never had an issue with Uber Eats either, except like I said, for the fact that if you order a Happy Meal, whether it's Burger King or McDonald's, you might not get your toy. And that's with all of them because they forget either the people at the store or the delivery person doesn't like. I think it's the people who pack the orders, not the people themselves who deliver it.
Internal tension was rising. The deal
but it's like, just because I ordered doesn't mean I don't want my toy. I want my motherfucking toy. Like what if I was ordering this for a kid? Kid would be disappointed as hell to open the shit up and not get the toy.
So 4 months later, Maloney was gone, and now Grubhub had a big.
But this is why I don't even order on. I don't even order. I don't even use the food apps anymore.
Inflated delivery numbers. Grubhub's decline accelerated. They were already at 18% market share in 2020, and it only got worse. The pandemic really established the winners and the losers of delivery. No one wanted to use Grubhub.
I've had much success
with
Uber Eats. Uber Eats is okay, but they charge too much. I don't. That's another reason I'm not using the food apps. You're paying the stupid tax because you're paying like literally like $20-$30 more than you would if you just went and picked up your food. Like, it doesn't make sense to spend to buy a. It doesn't make sense to spend to buy a $12 meal and you paying nearly $40 for the luxury of having it delivered to you on an app. It doesn't make sense.
It was bad, and they weren't wrong.
Like, that's a luxury only
In early 2021,
a rich person would
Jet
do.
disclosed that its profit had disappeared and its EBITDA was expected to be a
What's
loss of
up,
64 million to 85 million.
Blake?
Cat Rock
Blake
said.
N5.
Even worse, Just Eat was doing fantastic, but Grubhub was doing so badly, it was dragging Just Eat down with it. Grubhub's value collapsed.
And
forcing
DoorDash
a
is
$3.1
and
billion
DoorDash has way higher
In late
prices than
2024,
Grubhub
The gap was clear.
and Uber Eats.
DoorDash held 47% of long-term customers. Uber Eats had a 29%. Grubhub was left
It's
with
funny,
just
Grubhub is the
11%.
smallest market
now,
share, and they're the
Just
ones
Eat
I
was
trust
trying to get
the
rid of
most to
Grubhub,
deliver my food
but
out of all three.
It wasn't easy.
I
As
like
profit
Grubhub the best out of all
disappeared,
three.
Debt climbed past 500 million. Just Eat spent more than 2 years searching for a buyer. Eventually, an offer came in 2024 from Wonder Group for just $650 million, down from the original $7.3 billion.
But yeah, I
deal.
refuse to
And
spend
because of the
$40 for a
Just Eat
$12
takeaway
meal.
walked away with
That's
a mere
stupid.
$50 million. So why did it grow?
Unless it's for like a special
In my
occasion.
opinion,
But just to
Grubhub
order
lost
food, just to,
because they were right.
no.
DoorDash lost money on every single order from
I'd rather
February
eat some
until
fucking cabbage.
2024. Matt correctly identified that delivery was a race to the bottom. DoorDash and Uber Eats were burning hundreds of millions subsidizing cheap deliveries and low fees to grab market share.
Yep.
These companies were effectively paying customers to use them, while Grubhub tried to stay disciplined and maintain margins. The same or similar restaurant, but on one app it's $4 cheaper. Of course, customers will use it.
Yep.
By the time DoorDash and Uber Eats were actually thinking about profit, they'd already won. And that really is the sad part. I actually have respect for Matt out of all of this. Delivery apps aren't the most noble business, and at least he tried to make it work the right way and made it clear
The
he
gig
didn't
economy
want
doesn't
margin
work on
business.
both
The
ends.
way most of them work, everyone loses.
Yes.
Low delivery pay, high restaurant commissions, and even the companies weren't even making money.
Everyone's losing. The restaurant is losing.
Unfortunately,
The people
markets
delivering
don't
is
always
losing.
go where the
The
best
stupid
margins
people
are.
ordering the food are
Grubhub
losing.
definitely deserved
And the people
all
running the
praise for
companies
that
running
effort.
it at a
Weirdly
loss.
enough, all that effort to take ground
It's
by
not good.
Uber
It's not.
might
It's just a
not even
bad
be enough. Uber
business
is now
strategy.
profitable, but this company needed tens of billions to get there. And investors aren't even that impressed with the results. Was all of this even worth it? Click here to learn the rest of the story. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
The gig economy does not work. It's not the way. Anyway, I'm out, guys. I'm hungry and it's late. I meant to do this an hour earlier, but like I said, there was some sort of key glitch with the stream, so it was saying that my stream was still going from 2 days ago, which didn't make sense. And I had to restart everything and wait for it to clear from processing on that end before I could start a new stream. By the time it's late, so I'm out. Peace. Wait, is this not going to end? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now this won't. Now it's not letting me end this. Yeah. So there's definitely some glitchy things going on here because now I had problems stop showing that the stream had ended from 2 days ago. Now it's not letting me end this. So, all right. Is that how they want to roll? Because I will sit here and keep it live for like the next 10 hours while I go to sleep. And you can hear me snore or whatever. It's crazy though. It won't let me end the stream. That's wild. Yeah, it's literally not. It's literally okay. It's literally not letting me end the stream. So I'm just gonna